Betting can never be a game of skill, Center tells Supreme Court. The center on Tuesday reiterated its stand that gambling, irrespective of whether it is on a game of skill or chance, will still be categorized as gambling and therefore taxed accordingly. Not running on the horse, but when you bet on a horse, is it a game of skill or chance? Horse racing is a competition of high speed depending on a variety of changes and uncertain factors. Thus, horse racing has an element of gambling. Betting can never be a game of skill. Additional Solicitor General ASG N. Venkataraman, appearing for the center, argued. Gambling on a game of skill is still gambling, he added. The Supreme Court, in response, observed that jockeys could also make a horse run by virtue of the skill of the animal. The two-judge bench of Justices J.B. Pardiwala and R. Mahadevan is hearing a batch of pleas moved by online gaming companies challenging the 28% goods and service tax on all forms of online real money gaming. Earlier on Monday, the center told the Supreme Court that it makes no distinction between online games of skill or chance when it comes to taxation under the GST law. It argued that any form of betting on an outcome falls under gambling, regardless of the nature of the underlying game. The classification of the game, whether skill based or chance based, is irrelevant for the purpose of determining tax liability, the center told the apex court. Even states such as Nagaland, which offer legal protections to games of skill, treat betting on the outcomes of such games as gambling, the center said. Drawing a parallel with fantasy football bets placed internationally, where people bet on how many goals a football player will score without having any influence over the result. The center said that players are enticed by the prospect of rewards which could lead to addictive behavior. In an earlier hearing, the court had directed the center and the GST department to file their responses to the petitions submitted by online gaming companies. The bench had then issued notices in petitions filed by online gaming firms such as Head Digital Works, Games 27x7 and Dream 11, challenging the government's decision to retrospectively impose tax on the full value of online bets placed rather than on the gross gaming revenue. The GST department has also sought to transfer all related cases from various high courts to the Supreme Court. Traditionally, the online gaming industry was paying GST at 18%, considering its activity as a service. This was disputed by the GST authorities, who categorized it instead as betting and gambling, thereby attracting a 28% tax rate. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone. Bye.